My name's Abdullah Haroon. I co-founded Auralis Design Studio, and I also work with the Umatics Institute. So if you're not familiar with Umatics, it is a think tank, and what they do is they foster and nurture research focused around developing social, political, and economic research for the affairs of the Ummah. So what we do at Auralis is we are brand identity designers, graphic designers, and marketers. So we basically help people to launch their brands, and we really specialize in creating your visual identity, your logo, and so on, right? But a big part of that is storytelling, right? I haven't had the pleasure to meet many of you today, but I'm really thrilled by the kind of stuff I'm hearing, and I'm sure that you guys are really excited in the future. One thing, we've had a couple of talks so far, so a question to wake you guys up. This past Wednesday/Thursday marked a very significant date. Does anybody know what that is? Yes.
First of Muharram,
thank you. So we are in a new Islamic year, 1447. Not only is it 1447, but also this calendar year marks 1500 years since the year of the elephant, which is the year when the Prophet Muhammad was born. And I'm going to circle back to this, so keep this incident in mind, right? I have the impossible task of talking about storytelling today. So the thing is, with storytelling, it's a really good topic because it encapsulates so much about branding and marketing, right? I can't go into too much about the technicalities and the techniques for how to apply storytelling. But what I can do today, within my 15-minute segment, is give you the importance, right? Tell you how significant and how impactful it can be on a personal level, on a social level, and how you can really use it to help people resonate with your endeavor. So storytelling is a medium which is as old as mankind itself, right? Stories have been used to preserve values, to tell legends. Stories are easy to retell, to remember, and so it's something that's been done for a really long time. So, as mentioned, talking about the start of the new year, the new Islamic year is demarcated by the migration, by the Hijrah, right? So the question is, why did the companions, why did they use the migration as the Why did they use the migration as the point to start the new Islamic year? Why did they not choose, for example, the start of Revelation or the birth of the Prophet ﷺ? Why did they use this point, this incident, to mark the turn of the new year? Now, it's actually quite profound, and the reason is because when they made the migration, they moved away from Mecca, which is where the Muslims were facing persecution. They were accustomed to a certain way of life, which was, oppressing the destitute, the weaker in society, and they went towards a new system, which was that all people are equal under one God to be worshipped. And perhaps you may have thought that this incident is quite arbitrary. You may not have realized what is the significance of this. But what it does is, when you attach this incident to something that you use every single day in your life, right? This calendar defines your morning and your evening, right? It's something that, for example, yesterday many of you would have attended the Friday prayer, right? You are contributing to that identity. So this story has now become you. You are part of that story, right? And that is the ideal, such that the people, your audience members as a brand, they resonate with your story so much that it becomes part of them, right? It creates a shared identity, a shared consciousness, and that is the ideal. And the second point I want to make with regards to the migration is that the place that they migrated to was, what did they migrate to? Medina, okay. Now, what does Medina mean? City, okay. So in the Arabic language, whenever they want to use the word city, they say Medina as well. So it's kind of like, this is the original city, right? And this is the original way of living. This is the only way of living. It's kind of like, for example, when you hear of products like jet ski or jacuzzi or scotch tape, we think that they are the original product. Everything else is a knockoff, right? It's like, that is the original. Jet ski is the original. Scotch tape is the original. So kind of Al-Medina, the city, uses that same tactic to say that, look, this is the original way of living and everything else is, secondary. So then this is the challenge that you'll face. So with storytelling, what it allows you to do is to package up all of your, for example, your purpose, your unique selling point, your values, and all of this into, you know, a very concise and very effective way by which your story, your brand, your initiative can be interpreted and it can be understood, right? So if you were to go to an audience member and you to tell them, oh, this is my USP, you know, these are my values and so on. The thing is, your audience members, they will struggle to, for example, understand your USP per se, your values per se. But if you were to package up as a story is something which everybody can understand, right? It's something that everybody can resonate with. And that is the art, that is the difficulty, that, you know, the challenge. The reason why I am using the migration and the seerah is because we all know the seerah, right? We all know the meaning behind it. We all know why it was done. We all know the purpose, the intention, the non-negotiable. It's a very effective way of communicating a whole idea. And you are all here because you have a story, whether you know it or not. You decided to make a migration today. You decided that, you know, I'm going to give up my weekend time. I'm going to put it towards this initiative. And you obviously feel that it was worth doing so. So now what you guys need to do is basically the same reason which pushed you to take up this challenge and start this project and this endeavor or this business idea or whatever it may be. You now need to convert that into a story such that you can convince your audience members that they should also be as invested as you are, such that they will pay for that service. There was a slight venue change, right? So does anyone remember the original venue, the name of the original venue that we were going to be in? Telos House, right? So what does telos mean? Does anyone know what telos means? Oh, it's on screen. Okay, yeah. Okay, that's right. Yeah. Okay, so telos is a Greek word. It means basically your ultimate objective, right? Your end goal, right? I don't know if these guys did that intentionally, but it's quite uncanny and it is quite fitting as well. Although, unfortunately, we're not in Telos House.
We're going to be there tomorrow.
Inshallah. So, another thing is that, of course, storytelling is really important, right? But you need to have that telos, that end goal, a vision, right? That's what's really gonna. I would say that's even more important than storytelling. You can build a story, but let's say, you know, I imagine that some of you guys are very fresh on the scene with regards to starting your business ideas, but you really need to get that vision, you know, that telos, that end goal set, right? And then you can sort of flesh everything out with that. So what is your migration and what is your telos? That's what I want to leave you with today. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum.